Emerging Financial Model. This is
Courtney McMillan.
I'm Cynthia Lamb.
April Wilkins.
Alright, so this one we'll be going over our recommendations for future innovations, our market analysis, our business analysis, and financial analysis. First off, when we're doing our research, we decided to target in the initial years the Massachusetts and New York school districts as initial markets. We're going to be producing about 1,500 units in year one and about 5,100 units in year two. We hope to expand to New York by year three and do New York City markets. Our marketing plan will focus on word-of-mouth marketing and product demonstrations to school district supervisors, and we would require about $580,000 to make this plan happen. When we started looking at our target market, we started with low-income school areas. We believe that higher income areas won't be able to. They would purchase iPads and other products like that rather than the lower end items. So we started looking at secondary school districts, looking at grades 3 through 8 with students aged 8 through 12. Specifically, we want to get English language learner markets. Those are typically in low-income areas and they receive greater federal funding.
So to elaborate more on English language learners, this is just a map of the concentration of English language learners in the United States. These are the specific numbers for the states we will be targeting. And California, Texas, Florida, New York, and Arizona has the highest amount of English language learners. That's 2.7 million students between 5 states, and that's roughly 64% of the English learners market within the United States. So, from 1989 to 2005, the K through 12 market enrollment grew by 20%. At the same time that the English language learners market grew by 160%. And there's kind of an overlap in our segments, so we are targeting third grade to 8th grade, and that's 44% of the English language learners, and 10% of the 4 school districts that we're choosing to target are English language learners.
So our current focus is the local school districts in year one. We plan to target 4 local Massachusetts school districts, including Malden, Framingham, Somerville, and Holyoke. We chose this area because it's specifically high areas of concentration with English language learners. And in the future, we plan to market towards New York City schools because they have over 59,000 English language learners concentrated in that area in the students. And then we also plan to penetrate markets in Florida, Texas, California, and Arizona. Our main competitors include Rosetta Stone. They are a main software, language software that has a flashcard option, and we feel like it's a really good tool for English language learners to start off by learning. And they had over $258 billion in sales in 2010. Their main sales channels are consumers and institutional, and 21% of their sales were institutional, and 51% of these institutional sales were educational. Verizon also has a pilot tool called a mobile learning device where they basically use mobile smartphones, and students are allowed to interact during the classroom and use these tools. There's different applications on it, and they use this basically to learn. They saw a 68% improvement of math scores with this device after they implemented it. And then we also have the Brainchild Kineo as a mobile learning device as a competitor. And they helped students excel on state standardized tests, and approximately $5 to $10 million of annual sales. We also have Flashcard Exchange, which is an internet-based application that was used to create flashcards, and it's the largest flashcard library. You can create study print flashcards with this tool, and Flashcard Machine is also kind of along the same lines. It's a web service that you can use to create interactive flashcards. We have 48.8 million flashcards created to date, and it's accessible through multiple platforms, including the iPod, iPad, and iTouch. For our branding strategy, we decided to create a brand personality for this product. We decided to call it the Spark, and basically we wanted to communicate this message that this product can help promote learning and academic achievement. It helps ignite the passion for learning and inspires creativity, and it enhances retention abilities, and you can stay organized with this tool. Basically, you can spark secondary school success.
So here's a small snapshot of our marketing plan in terms of the 4 Ps. So product, when we looked at product, we wanted to kind of look at what differentiates us from other of our competitors as far as what's our competitive advantage. And the residing competitive advantage that we have is that no internet capabilities. All of the competitors we listed provide access to the internet, which is a major problem that we see in the school systems, why they haven't adapted all of their technology, because students are having leisure time on the internet instead of learning. Another advantage that we have is that we have a low price point. Again, compared to our competitors, we're well below their price range, and this is also adds value to this device. Secondly is our price. We decided to go with $40, which is a price plus pricing strategy. Also, that's 62.5% above the production cost. So we use 25%. And that provides an additional benefit if we sell by bulk, high volume, where we'll be producing for $12 to $15. That increases our profit margin if we continue to use this pricing strategy. And lastly, we would recommend to provide no volume discounts, just because this product is priced so low. Okay. And in terms of distribution, we would recommend UPS for small business. One, it's a trusted brand. Millions of people use it, and they also offer small discounts in terms of distribution. And last, we have promotion, email blasting. Kind of just use contacts that Wes has already created or the company has already established. There's like email addresses of superintendents, different school administrators online that's available that you can just pick up. And secondly, the website and blogging, and thirdly, word of mouth.
All right, so for our business analysis, as you can see, we don't have any marketing costs as a result of the word of mouth marketing and using Skype and different materials like that to communicate with district supervisors. But we do have operating expenses that are associated with the website domain, cost of actually maintaining the website, the salary of an app developer and just overall technical service person. We're paying them about $39,000 per year to do their job, and shipping costs. That would be through UPS, using BC High Volume and transporting items as far as California, which is one of our target states in the later years. That's pretty much yeah. So we would basically go through a burn rate about $6,800 a month, and we would hit the black in the second year, but we would break even around year 4 or 5.
Okay.
Jody, what's your salary in that situation?
What is
Zero.
right now.
Nice. Thank you.
You know who's really going to be upset about this is Wes.
Oh, he makes no money either.
Right.
No salary for him.
Yeah, so, yeah, you're a little bit light there. I was following along with you, but I think you didn't get to some of the hard points about, is word of mouth really going to do it? Is word of mouth really going to launch this? I know, I mean, it is true that you can, if you take the time, unpaid, to figure out email addresses of administrators, you can get them because of the position they serve, but it's not very efficient. And so I guess I would be concerned with a real launch effort to really, get the word out broadly to the right audience. Can you do it on a skeletal structure? I'm going to have to go back and look at my numbers because I had English language learners at around 11 million in the U.S. So
we actually took a percentage out of it for our group between grades 3 through 8, we took 44%.
Okay, that makes sense.
And that's only 5 states. That was 2.7.
Yeah.
Not the
Okay.
entire.
All right. Oh, all right. I like that real specific focus because I think that's where this product is a no-brainer and you can see how it could be used. And a lot less expensive than the Rosetta Stone, which I think is a couple $1,000
Right.
to
And
sign
then another
up for.
competitor was Orchard, which is also $1,000 per year.
So that was a really interesting part of your strategy, and I thought very specific. On the other hand, you didn't really describe how are you really going to get to them, because now you're talking a subsegment of students within each district, so that might be a challenge, is how do you really get your target market so specifically, because now you have to, you have to penetrate your 5 market areas.
We mostly do it through the actual school district. They have 4 different types of programs, 4 ELLs, the ESL program, which I think Blackman also has, and they actually also incorporate mainstream classrooms. There was a survey done by Course Crafters in I think 2005, and basically what's emerging is a lot more mainstream classroom use rather than dedicated programs. So they would actually have the students take inside, and they would give them a supplementary material. So everyone else in class would learn from a normal textbook, and there would be a textbook guide for the ELLs. And so the biggest demand was a technological device that would actually fulfill the EL requirement for schools. So it would go basically through the district down to the actual individual classrooms.
Yeah. So I would just make one comment, which is everybody attacked this financial or business model assignment in a different way. You guys did the assignment. You guys did the marketing plan. Your numbers are inadequate. Okay? That of the 23 or so questions that we needed, everybody needed to answer, they did 23. I don't know how many you did. You all did, you guys did the marketing side of the assignment. And that I think in the financial side, you may have done a couple. The credibility is 0, because we don't know any of the assumptions. And that I, like the group before you, applaud your approach strategically from a marketing point of view, but want you to know that from a business analysis point of view, you have 0 credibility. And that when we get to the pitch deck, you're going to have that. You're going to have to show why you need that amount of money and when I get it back, neither of which you did. Okay? Wood?
I think that's right. I think that's exactly right. I think the first group, did an awesome job on all the financial things. The second group got by on good looks and marketing. And you guys, I think you guys were a little superficial. I mean, this is a financial plan, and the only page there's numbers on is the last page that I really don't think even pass, I don't think they pass any test of reasonableness. Like, you're going to run this company and your only expenses are $40K a year web guy? That's it, forever. So it's almost like, in thinking about it, the first group put up so much stuff, it was good fodder for, an interaction that I'm sure felt not that great, but, but that's the learning is, in there. I think it's just hard to comment on anything financially because there's nothing here. I mean, I could say, shipping should be in cost of goods sold, not operating expenses, being the only valuable thing I could add on that, but I just think it's essentially not helpful because your only expense is a web thing and it's word of mouth. I mean, would you go home and ask your father to mortgage his house to invest in that? Well, that's the thing. I do like the spark thing. I think, the taking a crack at the personality is helpful. But I just think it's a total cop-out of, we'll be successful because of word of mouth. Unless you're willing to put up your own money, go home and ask Pops to mortgage the house. That's kind of, I think, the the smell test for these, you know, do you have a plan that you believe in? And I think you don't. I think you're saying you don't have a plan you believe in. So you just kind of went through this assignment. You did a good job in the target market and defining that, and I think that was probably helpful to Jody. But
Here's a copy of their presentation, which I think you ought to look at. Okay? But thank you very much anyway. Okay? Give them a hand. Jody, you want